In this video, I am going to demonstrate the implementation of DC motor to the AVR microcontroller by active law switch concept. Here we are using active law to this microcontroller. Then we can make the motor rotation according to this function. These functions, clockwise function, stop function, counterclockwise function, and stop function. These four functions will be called according to this condition. If this condition is okay, that means if the button is pressed for the D2 will get the negative charge. D2 will get the ground. If the D2 gets the ground, execute these four functions. Okay. Now for active law concept, we need to use the internal pull-up concept. Here we have given the internal pull-up resistor on. This is the internal pull-up resistor command. If you are using port D or is equal to 1 left shift port D2, here we are making on the internal pull-up resistor of port D2. Okay. Now we can compile this program. First of all, we are going to save, then compiling and building the solution. Now we are giving the hex file to this microcontroller, AVR microcontroller. Okay. Now we can load the hex file to this microcontroller. This file has been saved in this location. We can go to the hex file. This is the hex file. Now we have loaded the hex file to the microcontroller. Now we can check whether the switch function is working or not. Now we are pressing the switch button. Now we are pressing this push button. Okay. Now you can see the motor is rotating clockwise. Now anti-clockwise. Okay. That means I am going to explain this concept. If button is pressed, first of all, this function will execute. Now I am going to press the button. Look here, just press the button. Now clockwise function is worked. Now stop function, then anti-clockwise function, then stop function. Okay, this is the concept of the implementation of DC motor to the AVR microcontroller by active law concept. Now I am going to illustrate the real motor concept of the AVR microcontroller by using Arduino development board and the L293D motor driver and a real motor. We can go to the video right now. Before that, we need to load this program to the microcontroller of the Arduino development board. For this, we are using this command prompt and these commands. We need to get the file path of the hex file. For this, I am going to copy the file path from AVR HW DC motor internal pull-up active law debug. Then right clicking the hex file, then select the copy as path. Then we need to edit this file path according to our hex file path. Now I am going to paste what I have copied before to this command prompt. Then I am going to execute this to the AVR microcontroller. I am going to flash this. Now this is flashing right now. Okay. Now the hex file has been flashed to the AVR microcontroller on the Arduino development board. Now we can go to the illustration, hardware illustration directly. Okay. Here all connections are same, but the switch connection is a bit different. Okay. Now we are connecting the switch as in the schematic diagram. Okay. This is the switch that I am using, push button. Here the connection is very simple. Here I am removing this connection and this connection also. Now just give the D2 port to the push button. Then okay, this is the connection. Okay, this is the connection diagram. Now we can check whether the motor is working or not. putting the motor here, then push button is pressing. Okay, this is working. Okay, clockwise, then anti-clockwise, then it will stop. Okay, look, the button, I am pushing this button, at the same time it will rotate. Okay, this is the concept of integration of DC motor, concept of connecting of DC motor to the AVR microcontroller by active low concept. Okay, that means if D2 gets negative charge or ground, it will, the functions will execute. Okay, thank you.